Hello, I'm Monica Price and welcome to Cuppa TV. On today's show, I'm joined by Bryan, who's made this amazing dress out of Skittles. I'm also joined by singer-songwriter Jen Robbins, who joins us today and sings her brand new song, Big House. My first guest is a lady that spent hours and hours making a world's first dress out of the sweet Skittles that's simply gone international. We welcome Bryan. Sarah, thank you so much for joining me on Cuppa TV. Wonderful, amazing thing that you've done is making this dress. So just tell us about it.
Well, I started making the dress at college. I was entering a competition. It was more based on, beauty and makeup, but I decided I don't want to be the same as everybody else, so that's when I came up with the idea for the Skittles dress. But I saw my daughter playing with the multicoloured balls after so much time thinking, what can I use, what can I do? And then it just came to me. So I decided on that and then I set to work, but unfortunately at college it was getting a lot of media attention and the girls at college didn't like it. They didn't like the attention that it was getting. And I decided to auction the dress off afterwards to raise funds in memory of my foster mum who died the previous year. So I couldn't understand why everyone was being really awful and horrible, because it was so close to me, it was personal. So I left college and then I took the dress home and then I finished it at home in my bedroom, hours and hours it took. Oh,
I mean, it was 180 hours, I think.
Roughly, I think it would have been more, but we worked out around that.
And how many, Skittles of all things, so was it 2 for the dress, 1 for me, 2 for the dress, 1 for me?
Yeah, basically, because I ended up losing a tooth when I was making it, so they couldn't save it. It got really infected from too many
because you were eating the
sweets.
Skittles whilst you were doing it. Yeah. And I mean, and how did you do it? Just tell us exactly how that process began. How do you begin to make a dress out of Skittles? Do you have a frame?
Yeah, well, the bottom part, it was like a thin steel frame and I covered it in fabric, and the top part of the dress I designed and cut myself, and then I just basically put it on a mannequin, glued the Skittles one by one. At first I started trying not to get 2 colours of the same together, but then I thought, no, this is too much.
Did you lose interest after the first 500 or something?
Definitely.
And then, so where did you start? Did you start at the top of the dress or did you start at the bottom of the dress?
I started doing the top part first. I wanted to do a full length sleeved one, but I accidentally glued my table mats to it, so then I had to start again. So I started from the top and then I ended up doing the bottom, and I just finished the day before the competition.
And it went worldwide, didn't it? It was a YouTube sensation.
It went absolutely crazy. I couldn't believe it. When I was making it, I joked to my partner Nick, "Oh, imagine if I got in this or in this, or if it went there." And I was just kind of joking to myself. And then the day after the competition, it just escalated. Everyone was calling, and it was crazy.
So you put it up for auction, Sarah, and then what happened?
Well, I was contacted before the auction by Ripley's, believe it or not, in America, and they said they wanted to buy it, and I said, I've already said that I'm going to start it on auction, so I'm going to carry on doing that. Even though I thought it would be amazing, to go to them, I wanted to make it fair for everyone. So I did the auction, and they ended up winning anyway.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
So they've got it now, haven't they?
Yeah, they bought it and transported it all the way from England to Florida.
To Florida. I was going to ask you what state. So where is it? So it's actually on show in the museum in Florida?
I don't think it's on show yet. I think it's in the warehouse in Florida, Ripley's. It might not be going to Florida, Ripley's. It might be going to any, but that's their main warehouse. So.
And how did you think? What was your thoughts about that when it was sold? It's gone across the pond.
I thought it was amazing because my foster mum, who I did it in memory of, Brenda Hicklin, her favourite place was Florida. So it was just really ironic. She went every single year for years and years, and she took me when I was a foster child.
So tell us about that, Sarah. Tell us about your experience of being a foster child.
Well, I first went into care when I was a few months old, and it wasn't until I was 8 that I went to go live with Brenda. I was in and out back with my mum in foster homes, in day homes, in just, I don't even remember everywhere I went. It was loads. It must have been about 30, but it was crazy. And then I eventually went to live with Brenda, and then I stayed there until I was 13 because I was a bit of a messed up child, and I was running away all the time, and just one final time when I ran away, unfortunately, that's it. I went away and I never went back to there. But obviously we kept in touch, but I had no idea, you know, about my past and history. And I just wanted to find my real mum all the time. And as I grew up, I'd rather run back to her, but now I can't.
Yeah. And did your past kind of give you inspiration to do what you're doing now?
Yeah, definitely. I had my son when I was really young. I was only 15 and I've been homeless and lived in hostels, and it's been really, really hard, but I've just tried not to let it affect me and my son as well. I never want him to experience what I have, so I just try everything that I can not to.
Yes. Well, we've got a picture now of the Skittles dress, so let's have a look at it. So there it is. I mean, it's just incredible. I mean, I can't even begin to imagine how you even began to do that dress. But and the hoop, presumably, was that how the dress was? Did it flare out like that?
Yeah, that's part of the thin steel, and then there's the fabric over the dress. But it was really, really big, really wide. I think it was about 5 foot wide. Yeah.
And how did you? I mean, how did you get it? Transport it from?
I made it so it came in 3 pieces. So once you wore it, it looked like one full dress. So to go through like doors and things, I just had to like lift it up and turn it around. But it's so heavy. My model did so well wearing it.
And then from there, as if that wasn't enough, you thought, I know, I'm going to make a dress out of hundreds and thousands, which is what you've done recently, yes? So again, let's have a look at this dress. So again, hundreds and thousands. I can't tell us how you did that. How did that actually work?
Well, I wanted to do something else after doing the Skittles dress, and I did have one idea, but I did some research and it had already been done. So I wanted to do something that's never been done. So then that's when I came up with this after my research, and I thought it was going to be so easy, like glue, throw it on. Not considering if you throw it on, it'll go everywhere. But so I ended up getting a makeup brush and doing like a 1 centimetre square of glue and then patting them on. But they've just got absolutely everywhere.
And now where is that dress at the moment?
That dress, it's in my landing downstairs on my table, just waiting to go.
And then what are you going to do with that dress?
I'm going to auction that one as well at the end of the month.
And is that going to go to charity, to the same?
Yeah, to the same one.
Oh, fantastic. And then are you going to get the same attention, do you think, on that dress as you did on the Skittles dress?
I don't know. I don't think so, but this dress has already had a lot of attention, like TV shows, magazines, papers. It's already had a lot, but not as much as the Skittles dress, I don't think. But this one has also gone to America, you know, in the news, like ABC News and everywhere. So I don't know. We'll have to see.
How do you feel about that, Sarah? I mean, you are known, you know, in America, you know, across the world. How does that make you feel?
I don't know. Just like with everything, I'm just so used to just thinking, oh yeah, this is happening. Okay, next.
Yes. So you've finished that one now, so that's complete. Yep. So what's next for you?
Well, I'm working on a top secret project.
Top secret.
But,
can you share anything with us?
I can't share anything, but that will be completed around October time.
Of this year?
Yes, of this year. So I will share as soon as it's done.
You know, you must come back on and show us what you're doing.
And I think this one is going to be a lot bigger than any of them. I think it's going to divide so many places. I think that's the only hint I can give.
I'm intrigued. And is it with, when I ask, is it with sweets
I can say it's not with sweets.
Oh, it's not with sweets, so something completely different. And I mean, again, what inspired you to do that dress, even though you can't talk about it? Because it's not with sweets, so you've gone off to a completely different theme. Yeah. And I can't think of what it could be made of, but presumably it's something unusual.
Yeah, I like doing something that's never ever been done before. Like I've always wanted to make sure I'm remembered by something, and the Skittles dress, I'd like to be remembered for the dresses, but I wouldn't like to just be remembered for the lady that made one Skittles dress. Yes. So this one, and I also want to help charities and stuff. So.
What sort of charities are you keen on helping? Is there any particular?
Mainly cancer charities, but I'd like to do something along the lines of helping with teenage parents as well. I've done lots of volunteering in the past, so I just want to make a difference somewhere.
Yes, exactly. And I mean, and now what's the situation now with your friends? Are you in touch with your friends that you were at college with, or have you lost all contact with them because of your success with your dresses?
Well, I did 1 year at college before I started doing this second year, which was where I did the Skittles dress. So I did my MVQ level 2, and everybody there was amazing, and I even won Student of the Year for that year. So I keep in contact from everyone on that course. But on the second course, it was all of the younger people that don't actually have to pay for their education, whereas I was. So I wanted to get the best out of my money, whereas for them, it was probably just playtime.
Sarah, so I mean, you've done an incredible thing there, Sarah, because you've created something that's so unique and so unusual. So you must come back. You come back on the show.
Yeah, I will. I
when
promise.
it's out. So October, it's going to be coming out. So as soon as it's come out, you must come back on Cuppa TV and show us, because I'm very intrigued, and I'm sure the viewers are watching are going to want it. So.
And I've got a lot of time to plan on how I'm going to get this piece down. So.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you for joining me today. It's been a pleasure to meet you. Welcome back to Cuppa TV. I'm now joined by Jen Robbins, who spends her time travelling and finding things in life to inspire her, as she's a singer-songwriter based here in the West Midlands. Jen, thank you so much. Welcome to Cuppa TV.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you for coming. Lovely to see you. So, Jen, let's tell us about your story first of all. How did you get into becoming a singer-songwriter?
Well, I grew up singing. My older brothers, they always sang, and I always ended up doing the harmony. So I just always sang. And I always sang in church as well.
So it's your passion?
Yeah, definitely.
It's your passion.
One of them.
And we said, that you spend your time travelling. You do travel a lot, I understand.
I'd like to travel more than I do. But yeah, I love travelling. I get a lot of inspiration from travelling and meeting people and just different cultures, and then, ordinary black country life as well.
Yes, because you're from the Black Country.
I am.
So
Born
proud of your roots there at the Black Country?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Jerusalem is almost, because I lived in Israel for a while, Jerusalem's twinned with the Black Country for me.
Really?
People will call me crazy, but definitely, yeah.
So tell us about that. So you go to Israel quite a lot?
Yeah, every year I go out, but I did live there for about 3 years, but I'm talking about it all the time at the minute because I'm going next week. So I'm very excited. But yeah, when I was out there, I took my guitar, and I didn't really know how to play very well then, but I think when you're in extreme situations, it just kind of makes you write songs. It's kind of a survival technique.
Yeah. And what are your songs about?
They're all about different things. They're not really love song type things. They're about life and about the struggles that we have, or people that you meet, or impact that situations can have, really. I think they're kind of story-like songs than anything else.
And when you're out in Israel, because you went to Jerusalem, is that right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, tell us about that, because that's quite a fragile part of the world. Do you feel threatened when you're out there at all?
No, not at all. I think it's very I don't know what the word is, but misjudged, really, from news. Obviously, you only ever see bad news on the news.
Yes.
But there's actually some really amazing things, amazing projects going on, and I think in the West we sometimes have an idea of, come on, Arabs and Jews, you need to hug it out.
Yes.
It can be a little arrogant sometimes.
Yeah. Because, I mean, this is a beautiful city.
Oh, it's stunning.
Obviously it's got so much history. For people who are not Christians would have heard of Jerusalem.
Oh,
so when you're there, do you just walk amongst the people and get inspired that way? How does it work?
I just work with them, really, because I worked out there, and I'm working out there next week. But all that. There's just so much stuff, so much material, really, that you can draw from.
And you do a lot for charity, is that right, as well?
I used to do more, but yeah, I used to work for a charity that kind of combated anti-Semitism, actually, which is another avenue of who I am, I suppose. But and kind of using my music to kind of do that, which is good, from pubs and bars to,
And you're going out to Israel next week, you said. So what are you going out there for next week?
Well, every year it's like a spring fair. And we spend like 10 days setting it up, so it's not very glamorous. We spend about 10 days sorting through black bags full of, people's throwouts. And we turn them into amazing things.
Fantastic.
And then sell them, and then that money, it's a massive event, and it's always really good fun, because it's always like a really English theme. Like last year it was Robin Hood and his merry men, which is bizarre. But yeah, so all that money that's raised will then go to different charities. And
in Israel, charities in Israel. Oh, that's great. And
it's
again, awesome. You've obviously made friends there, really good friends there, because you continue to go back. Have you written any songs particularly about Israel itself or the people?
Yeah, actually, the title track of my album is called Jerusalem, and it's yeah, it's kind of like a summary of how it changed me, or how the people changed me, the situations changed me, and well, we're always changing, aren't we? And it's yeah, so it very much influenced my writing, even now. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. And what about you as a woman in the music industry?
Yes,
Jen,
I've been one of those awards.
Yes. You know, do you feel there's any difference being a woman in the music industry than being a guy? Do you notice anything at all?
Well, I've never been a guy, so I don't really know. But yeah, I think it's got to be different. I'm not technical savvy, so I'd much prefer a rooftop and be unplugged than standing on a stage being plugged in, but that's fun too.
Yes, yes.
But I think being a woman, I think people see it differently. Like I don't know. I think everyone's different. I think times are changing, aren't they, all the time? And we've got a lot more freedom than we used to. And well, not that I was around back then, but I don't think it's that different. But it has to be in some way.
And when you're doing concerts, what's one of your favourite places that you've played at? My
favourite places, it's actually a little pub in King's Heath. It's a station on the Sun on the station, and I love it because it's a very kind of close, intimate gig. Yeah,
I think a lot of musicians like that. They actually prefer to play more intimate gigs because it's just. I think you've got the intimacy. You can actually feel the audience. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, definitely. I think I love doing gigs, and I love. Everyone does the gigs where you're kind of in competition with the drunk blokes in the corner. but they're good fun as well, and you catch the eye of some people that are like, oh, that sounds interesting. But I do like those intimate gigs where people are going, oh, it sounds. I'd really like to hear what she's saying, but because I think I'm quite a wordy person, as you've probably noticed. So I listen to words, and I listen to song lyrics, and I find them fascinating before I hear the music sometimes.
So are you writing at the moment?
Actually, I've hit a bit of a block.
Oh,
but I'm hoping...
Maybe your trip to Israel will sort that out.
That's what I'm hoping. Yeah. I've got a few, half an album that I want to record, so I've just got to write a few more songs.
Yes, and where do you record? Do you record it here in the West Midlands?
Yeah, I do. Just some friends, actually, they've got a studio in Amblecote, so I record it there. So...
And have you written a song about your background, coming from the Black Country? Is there anything, because you're obviously very proud of your roots, and quite rightly so. Is there any of your songs that are sort of more about the Black Country?
That might be my next song.
Hey, I've just given you an idea.
Thanks, we should team up.
It's a Cuppa TV exclusive. What can I say?
Yeah, watch your space.
Yeah, but I think it's just wonderful because coming from the Black Country. Yeah. Obviously very proud of your roots and travelling as well, though you obviously find inspiration from both of those.
Yeah, I think travelling does that actually, especially when it's such diverse cultures. I didn't miss England when I was over there, not much really, but when I came back I was like, wow, this is beautiful. It's so green. I think you really start to appreciate your home really, especially when you're surrounded by people. When I lived in Israel, where home was a big thing to them because it was fragile, as you said, so it's not like taken for granted, and you think, oh, I shan't take mine for granted now. It's important.
And when you come back, how long are you going for on this trip?
About 2.5 weeks.
So, and again,
it'll do for now.
Will you write when you're out there, or do you come back and write?
If I'm honest, I probably won't have time. But I find actually that I write more music when I'm busy. When I haven't got time to, because then everything has to stop and I have to sit and write a song. So I might write some out there. We'll see.
Oh, that would be great. Well, you're going to play something for us now, aren't you? So what are you going to play for us now?
I'm going to play Big House. This is one of the first songs that I wrote, actually, on a rooftop in Jerusalem.
So Big House by Jen Robbins. Over to you.
Dreams I would live here with you in my big house. All my friends, family, we'd all live in my big house. My house afloat tile floor. In my house there'd be love. There'd be laughter and fun. No quarrels and no problems. There'd be love in my house. In my house. I'd cook your food, I'd make your beds, I'd make your birthday cakes and clothes.